your intercostal arteries and veins respectively. On the heart, you have your pulmonary trunk. So the pulmonary trunk was between the auricles. There's an auricle here, and another auricle way down there. This vessel in between is hollow. That is your pulmonary trunk. And then we had some vessels in between the actual lungs. The blue ones are pulmonary arteries, and the pink one will be a pulmonary vein. Okay, then under the diaphragm you have your abdominal aorta there, and then first branch is your celiac trunk. And the celiac trunk has 3 branches. This first one way down here is the common hepatic, going under the stomach to the liver. Then this one is your left gastric, going to the stomach. And the rest of this is your splenic, going to the spleen. Okay. The next branch was the superior mesenteric artery, and that gave rise to your intestinals, which are here. Anything in pink is intestinal arteries. Your ileocolic. Okay, so that big yellow one is the ileocecal, keep saying that, ileocolic vein for the ileocecal valve. Ileocolic vein, ileocolic artery. Okay, and then you had your pancreatico-duodenal artery, which is hard to see because my cat didn't take up a lot of paint, but you have a yellow one there on the left, and then the pink one next to it is the artery. Okay, then you continue down the body, and you have your suprarenal artery, and then your renal artery, down here, this fat renal artery, going to the kidney. And then you're going to have lumbar arteries that are coming off of the aorta, going around the lumbar spine. And then you have iliolumbar artery next to the vein. And then the inferior aorta ends here and gives rise to the external iliac arteries. Cat does not have a common, we do. So once your external iliac arteries come off of the aorta, then you have your internal iliac arteries after that. The external iliac artery is the one that's going to go through the pelvic wall and become your femoral artery, and then back here behind the knee is simply popliteal artery. Okay, now the veins. You're going to start with your adrenal gland. So on the adrenal gland, you've got that big blue vein, suprarenal vein, renal vein to the kidney. Then if you move over your inferior vena cava, those branches coming off of that are your lumbar veins, iliolumbar, because they're in the region of the ilium of the pelvis and the lumbar spine, iliolumbar veins. Then your inferior vena cava ends and becomes common iliac veins. And then the common is going to split. I don't know if I can get the camera to see that. That split right there is your internal iliac, and the portion of it that's going to leave the body wall is the external iliac. Okay. Now the external iliac, as soon as it leaves the body wall, is your femoral vein, and then at the first split, right here, you have your great saphenous vein. That's the one we tried not to hit when we skinned the cat. And then your popliteal vein. And the popliteal vein is going to divide one more time way down here. Let's see if we can get some of this muscle out of the way. There we go. That last division is your small saphenous. So femoral, great, pop, small. Alright. Oh, I forgot median sacral arteries and veins. So they are down here running to the sacrum, straight down against the back of the body wall. The vein is easy to see. The artery right next to it, a little harder to see. Vein and artery. Okay. We also have our inferior mesenteric artery. That was in the mesocolon, going to the colon. And then you have your hepatic portal system. Along the greater curvature of the stomach, near the pyloric valve, this yellow vessel is your gastroepiploic. Between the liver and the duodenum is your hepatic portal vein, that big yellow one there. Below the below the duodenum is your superior mesenteric vein, and all the rest of the vessels lead to that to drain the blood into the liver. So you're going to have one up here in the pancreas and the duodenum, this yellow guy right there, superior pancreatico-duodenal. Okay, and then you're going to have inferior pancreatico-duodenal, and then you're going to have intestinals, anything that's yellow, those are easy. Okay, and then to your ileocecal valve, that yellow one is the ileocolic. Okay, and then your inferior mesenteric coming from the colon to the superior mesenteric vein. And then finally you have a splenic out to the spleen. Okay. Now there are probably a few vessels that I've forgotten because I don't have my list here with me. Make sure that you learn those, ask me in class. There's also probably pictures of them on the website as well.